We tend to look at time as a straight line, a mechanical ticking forward that isolates us into the immediate present, disconnected from the broader rhythms of reality. Under this rigid framework, the ancient study of the stars has been flattened. We treat astrology as deterministic fortune-telling, reducing a complex celestial language to generic entertainment. Earlier cultures viewed time differently. They saw a sequence of nested cycles, a rotating mirror that reflected both human behavior and natural rhythms. By forgetting this cyclical language, we lost our sky memory. We discarded the system used to map our relationship to the cosmos. This circular stone relief is the Dendera Zodiac. It organizes the stars into an enclosed cosmological map. Looking closely at the central carved figures, celestial mechanics translate into nested time. The outer edge holds up the disk, establishing a master sacred calendar. By breaking down these nested wheels, we can see how the ancients organized their observations of the sky into a model for tracking different scales of existence. The innermost cycle of this system relies on the 12 distinct signs of the zodiac. These act as the foundational archetypes of human behavior. In astrological language, these 12 divisions represent domains of embodiment. They act as archetypal filters that organize different patterns of experience. When a personal map is plotted across these fields, it establishes a framework for tracking individual emotional trends and internal shifts. This inner wheel categorizes the raw traits of human experience into recognizable symbols. While this defines the individual pieces on the board, the symbols are static. Generating meaning requires an active engine to drive the system forward. Moving outward to the middle wheel reveals the behavioral grammar of the system. Here, invisible geometric lines dictate how these archetypes interact. When planetary forces align exactly, they form a conjunction, blending their energies into one concentrated point. If those forces shift to a 90-degree angle, they form a square, a relationship of friction that prompts change through conflict. A triangular alignment creates a trine, where forces cooperate to produce harmony and flowing energy. When two points sit directly across from one another, they are in opposition. This holds the archetypes in polarity, requiring balance across extremes. Through this geometric engine, the system tracks the continuous interplay of tension and harmony within its own internal logic. This schematic of the Dendera artifact reveals an outermost layer. This framing border tracks spans of time that extend far beyond a single human life. It maps the precession of the equinoxes, a 26,000-year cycle tracking the slow progression of collective human eras. By following the sequential symbols along this rim, the focus shifts to macro dynamics. Because this clock tracks the slow movement through constellations, the ancients used it to chart changes in the psychological climate of civilizations over centuries. The Dendera Zodiac integrates the micro perspective of a personal life and the macro timeline of the collective into one continuous celestial clock. This entire system functions as a symbolic language. These papyrus records suggest an esoteric worldview that prioritizes the narrative of the sky. The ancients viewed the sun's journey and planetary movement as archetypal stories, rather than dead mechanics operating in a vacuum. This narrative-driven cosmology was a consistent thread across ancient records, used to map the psychological patterns of different ages. This integrated worldview provides a context that was lost when we move toward more isolated, linear models of time. We reside within these repeating cosmic cycles. The geometric layers of the chart suggest we are part of a larger rhythmic design. By slowing down our perspective, we can see that astrology remains our oldest, most carefully preserved map of meaning. By reading its celestial geometry, we regain an understanding of our inner rhythms. This ancient source code ultimately reveals a point of connection between the individual experience and the broader design of the universe.